So as we discussed the selection of desirable strains of probiotics for use as food or feed for human or animal, let's look at some of the health benefits that we derive from these probiotics. So first of all, they have got nutritional benefits. They produce many vitamins in the intestine when they actually feed upon the prebiotic or other materials within the intestine. So they are responsible for production of some of the vitamins, as well as they also help in the better nutrition of products as far as minerals are concerned. For example, the minerals, they can be more bioavailable when we use these probiotics. This can be true in case of milk. For example, in case of milk, we would have better bioavailability of calcium and other minerals when we use that in the form of a yogurt. And the same benefit can also be extended in terms of certain enzymes, digestive enzymes, such as we have the beta galactosidase here, that is not present in case of milk. So people who are lactose intolerant, they might not be able to digest those lactose present in the milk, so they would have much more discomfort. But when instead of milk they use yogurt, the yogurt would have beta galactosidase enzymes in them. These are there because of the action of probiotic bacteria. So this would actually help the digestion of lactose. So lactose intolerant people, that is the reason they can actually bear the yogurt product, rather than milk is more difficult for them to digest, but yogurt is very much fine for them. Then it also have a lot of other health benefits. For example, it acts as a barrier, or it can also it can act as a restoration for antagonistic effect against certain pathogens. For example, it acts as a barrier for many pathogens. The pathogens cannot enter into the bloodstream, or they cannot adhere to the mucosal cell lines when there is enough amount of probiotic bacteria there. They can also restore the damaged microflora if there is any antibiotic has been taken, or if whenever there is some disease or pathogenic microorganism they overgrow, then these pathogens can actually be restored by the suitable amount of probiotic that are consumed. So for example, infectious diarrhea or traveler's diarrhea or children acute viral diarrhea, these are the kind of diseases that are due to certain pathogens, and when we use probiotics in sufficient amount, these health conditions can be reversed. And similarly, when we use antibiotics, they would be, of course, they would be killing all the pathogens, including harmful as well as the useful bacteria, such as probiotic bacteria as well. So once we use antibiotic, it is also good to use probiotic with them, because if you don't use probiotic, then there might be antibiotic associated diarrhea that can be observed. So it is recommended to use probiotic with antibiotics, because once they deplete the internal microflora, we can have more probiotic that can attach to the intestinal cell lines, and then they produce the desirable microflora within the GI tract. Another very important benefit of these probiotics is they reduce cholesterol. They can assimilate cholesterol particles. This is one of the mechanisms by which they can reduce the cholesterol content. Another way is modification of bile salt hydrolase activity. This is called as BSH activity as well. It is known that many of these strains can regulate this activity of BSH, so that would be actually helping in reducing the cholesterol content in the blood profile. It also have antioxidative potential, so anything when we use antioxidants, they of course help to reduce the cholesterol content in the blood, so they actually help in improving the health of people who use probiotic. If we talk about the immune system, they strengthen the immune system, especially the non-specific immune system is strengthened if we use enough amount of probiotic culture and they are suitably consumed and they have the desirable traits. Then it is very much helpful to increase the immunity or non-specific immunities developed by using them. They can also increase the phagocytic activity of white blood cell. Phagocytic activity is the one when the white blood cell actually engulf the invading bacteria or other undesirable pathogenic loads or any other thing that actually can cause disease. So they can increase the white blood cell capacity to engulf the invading bacteria or pathogens. Another way of increasing the immunity is through production of IgA, immunoglobulins A. They also act as a defense mechanism of all the mucosal lines. So once they are there, they modulate the activity of the immune system. So they also play their role in regulating many other functions of immune system. So by all these factors, now we know that when we use probiotic, they are good to actually increase the immunity against pathogens or diseases. Another benefit of probiotic is they can enhance the bowel movement. By that we mean that it can help in constipation. So you won't develop constipation or the inflammatory response is not there, so it can reduce the inflammatory or allergic reactions once we use enough amount of probiotic bacteria. It can restore the homeostasis, and they also regulate the cytokine synthesis. The cytokines are again protein molecules. They regulate immune system. So once we have the synthesis of the cytokines, this would actually help in improving the immune response of the organism that is undertaking these probiotic bacteria. Another benefit is they can again colonize, as I said, that they can adhere and they can colonize in our GI tract, and they can also have anti-cancer potential. The way they perform this anti-cancer activity is actually they can bind with the mutagen in certain cases. They can also inactivate certain carcinogenic compound or pre-carcinogenic compounds. They can prevent the formation of these compounds in the first place. They can bind with them. Similarly, they can also modulate the activity of other microorganisms within the microflora of intestine. So by this way, they can also, by modulation of these activities, they can produce less amount of product which are carcinogenic in nature, and they also improve the immune response against these carcinogenic compounds. So by these some examples, now we know that probiotic bacteria are very much useful for improving the health when they are administered to humans or as feed to animals. So this was all the health benefits, although there are a lot of other new emerging research that shows they are far more beneficial in many other conditions as well. But the research is constantly undergoing, and it is telling us more and more new avenues where these probiotics are used as a preventive measure for certain diseases.